Hello, my name's Bullock, and on October 10th of 2009, my life changed forever. We had a devastating fire. Our dream home of 2 years had caught on fire, and we literally watched it burn before our eyes. We watched firefighters go in and risk their lives to save our home. That was on a Sunday evening, and I didn't sleep much that night. We spent the night in my in-laws' home, and the next morning we were up bright and early to assess the damage. We met the fire marshal there who came in and concluded that the fire was basically the cause of human error. And it's devastating to walk into your home that just hours before was a place of safety and sanctity, a place where your family resided and could take the troubles of the world away, and you walk through the front door and it's a war zone. I still get emotional thinking about it. The personal items and the things that you hold dear to you are scattered everywhere. They're laying on the floor, they've been stepped on, water damage, smoke, fire damage. And I remember walking out of the home thinking, it's never going to be the same. How in the world can this ever get back to normal? About 20 minutes later, an Alpine truck pulls up, which I found interesting because we didn't call them. And it was Chris Harris, the owner. He got out of the car, his truck, and he introduced himself to us. And I just instantly knew that this was a situation that they had dealt with before. They actually knew what they were doing. He assured me that there was hope that they could restore this damaged home and make it look absolutely new again. They started taking out content, and again, those precious items that we thought were destroyed. They painstakingly cleaned every page, every photo album, everything that you can imagine that's in your home. They took it out and they cleaned it and they stored it for us. I remember the remodel fixing the home took about 10 months. And I remember waking up, we stayed at our in-laws' home during the reconstruction, and I remember waking up in the middle of the night worried about my content, wondering, I hadn't seen it in so long. I didn't see it when they took it out of the house. I remember calling Zane, our foreman, and early that next morning and saying, can I just see my content? And he assured me that everything that was taken from the home would be restored, and that I was welcome to come and see it. It was in boxes, and it was labeled with our name on it, and everything had been accounted for. It just gave me reassurance that after this project finally was going to be over, that everything we had had once before would be restored completely. And July of that year, mid-July, 10 months later, we were able to move back into our home. And I remember the first night that we spent in our home, I was thinking, how could I ever sleep and rest comfortably, remembering what had happened. And I slept that night. I slept comforted. The home was restored. It was beautiful. It was right back to where it was. In fact, it was better than it was. You know, the first time we built the house, it was that same process that you hear other people who build homes, how they just regretted it and they say they would never build a home again because of all the problems and things that they faced. And this time, after Alpine restored our home, it was just amazing. During the whole process, they made sure that every step that they made was in accordance with what we desired. They didn't move on anything until they cleared it through us first. Even cost. You know, this was covered by our insurance company, which was very fortunate, but they were still conscientious about the costs and the time and making sure that we got everything that we had before. And then they went and re-engineered things to assure us that our fireplace, which was the cause of the fire, we'd never experience that again, because they took extra care in making sure that it was done right this time. And when everything was said and done, I can honestly tell you that Chris and Zane and Bodie, and I could just name all the people that worked on our home, they became family. And I hope that we never experience anything like this again. I hope that you looking at this testimonial never experience it. But if I ever had to go through a devastating fire or flood or changing event to my home and my property, I would always recommend Alpine Restoration. They'd be the first on my list, and this time they wouldn't have to just show up. I would actually call them first. Thanks, Chris.